there is completely unimportant. That all of that is just to keep us busy, keep our minds taken over as these men of the age of reason take over with their technocracy and start to establish their global world. So we need to realize that we are being played on a large scale. We need to realize that every aspect of our lives is being programmed. When you find Apophis in video games, when you find the latest Electronic Arts Dante's Inferno, which had a commercial there on the Super Bowl that was supposed to say "Go to hell," but they had to change it to "Hell awaits," as if that were any better. And let's remember that Disney did buy out Marvel and is working on buying out Electronic Arts, and then they'll put out their epic Mickey video game. So from video games to television shows to Grammy Awards, we start to see it all. We, of course, had Lady Gaga doing her Phoenix ritual, announcing that she was a monster, and that she was going to turn all of you into monsters, mind-controlling you with her pop music. They then burnt her, and she rises from the ashes with none other than Elton John and a bunch of dead hands coming up out of the ground on their piano. Very curious there, but it doesn't stop there. Of course, then Queen Bee, which will form right into the Metropolis coming Robo-Sapien agenda. Queen Bee, or Beyonce, then comes out with a full troop of riot squads. Come on, this is not art. This is this is less art than the Nazis coming out on stage while Obama was watching the Kennedy Honors Awards. This type of blatant propaganda is just boring, really. I mean, what the heck was that? The dancers in the riot gear couldn't even dance. What are we going to think about that? But of course, they followed this all up and kept it all scooped together with Pink, who then was put through the first Masonic ritual, having her pant leg halfway up, being black and white checkerboard, having her left breast bared with a heart over it, being hoodwinked or blindfolded before being hung from the ceiling. These are our Masonic rituals. Then we see as Project Chaos is being enacted, and Eminem comes out and sings all about suicide. What happy Grammys are we having these days? How he wants to shoot and kill, and he is then trained and talking to the demons or the devil, and even took on the very name that these pop stars and hip hop stars are calling upon, which is Rain Man. I almost shudder to say his name live on the radio, but Eminem then announces that he is Rain Man. When you see the rest of the videos, like from Lennon Honor, you'll see that they are calling upon Rain Man, but Eminem said he was Rain Man himself. Now, once again, this is all part of this end of the world script. America is supposed to be Satan, and that is why it's so blatant at this time. This is why Lady Gaga does blood rituals at the VMA Awards and then Phoenix rituals at the Grammys. This is supposed to be obvious. America is supposed to be Satan. How can you have a global government if you don't have something to point back to and say, look what happens when you give people freedom? But we all know this is all just a farce, but who's going to remember, right? That's your job. That is your job. That is why I'm here, so that you remember how we got to where we're going. I don't have any intentions or beliefs that I can stop this juggernaut. That is not my goal. My goal is to have people remember how we got there, so once we're in the mess, we might know how we got there and that it wasn't truly our fault. When you realize James Cameron is producing Lady Gaga's videos, then you start to realize the level that this programming is going. She didn't make it. She didn't come up from the ground floor and work her way up. No, she was a hermaphroditic perfect icon that was perfectly able and wanting to be part of this New World Order, wanting to be part of the programming of Satan into you. So this is why she is at the top. Certainly not her singing skills. So now we have Eminem, and next thing you see is some man phoning into 9/11 saying, or phoning into 911 saying, I just killed my wife and children. I couldn't help myself. I heard Eminem's lyrics going through my head and saw demons in their faces. this is the level that the programming goes. Now go check out Darren Brown. Check out how subtle clues can be programmed into people to make them do things that they've never thought they would do. This is programming, NLP. This is neuro-linguistic programming, and it is assigned and attached to certain songs and signs and colors. Go watch Darren Brown's The Heist and get some ideas of the levels of programming they are capable of. Then realize that they're bringing everybody into these rituals, performing this NLP type of programming. I mean, telling you you're a monster, and you're being mind controlled. This is part of NLP. Or listen to Obama's speeches when his text translator's actually working and he pulls off all of this NLP programming. Realize what's going on, that your mind is being manipulated. So this takes me to last Sunday's show with Clyde Lewis on groundzeromedia.org. Now, as I went on with Clyde, I wanted to tell him all these things that I'm telling you now. But often when you get in with another researcher, you will find that they want to also promote what they've got going, and we'll see where we meet in the middle. I'm very happy to do this with Clyde. I like his thoughts and his ideas. So Clyde then announced that it's very possible, and you will find all of this in Space War News, that Iran might launch an EMP weapon on the United States, announcing that they would do it on February 11th. This is, of course, the anniversary of the creation of their republic. So Thursday, the world may end as we know it. Who knows? It is possible, and the potential is there. What was very curious, and I noticed that I use that term a lot, or terms very curious on this show and on radio, on the Free Zone, very often because, well, hell, our world is very curious. Is that next day, okay, so Sunday night, Clyde Lewis makes this announcement while I'm on the air with him, and in honor of this, they will be rebroadcasting that show every midnight every day this week. So if you want to catch it, the link's there on Freeman.5. Go over, check out the show that we did. Also check out our show, Grounds for Baphomet, which you will find under Freeman's TV shows. And realize that it was that day that I was saying 1013 would bring about the end of the American economy, and of course that was very correct, and it was on the very day that I was saying it. You know, that's all I'm saying. I haven't been wrong yet. There's lots that I need to gather together to bring about this information to you, and that's why, and I apologize for not having Radio Freeman here in these last couple of weeks, but hopefully the Bill Deagle shows have been entertaining and informing you along the way. I don't get to say as much on those shows, so I always want to get back to this, but I have been having some serious technological difficulties. I am almost back up and running, as you can tell. Hopefully I'll have some music again here soon. I like the music. It kind of sets the stage and sets the tone. But so here we are announcing on Sunday night that the potential of Iran hitting America with an EMP rocket, that they had just launched a rocket containing a mouse, a turtle, and some worms into space off the back of a truck. Now we're looking at the potential of them launching an EMP. You will find the Commission's reports from 2004 on the Space War News showing this very effect and how they expected it. And then you'll also find February 3rd, 2009, Defense Tech announcing Iran has the capabilities of hitting us with an EMP weapon. And what would happen with an EMP, of course, would be a total global electronic shutdown. Pretty much what they're also predicting, and NASA is saying, will hit in 2011. Due to solar cycle 24, because this is the same type of effect. Or they can be turned on and operated from HAARP facilities. Different ISCATs or ionospheric heaters around the world can also cause this very same effect, because basically these ultra-low frequency radio transmitters on antenna arrays around the globe are ground-based solar flare emitters. So, you know, is it Iran or is it an ionospheric heater? Once again, we won't know. But they'll tell us the story we need to hear so that they can further their agenda. But surprisingly enough, the very next day on the Drudge Report, headline reads, Iran to send telling blow, a one-punch blow to the Western powers. A one-punch blow could very well be an EMP. because then this would shut down all of the electricity, or a major portion of the electricity in the United States for seemingly months, according to the Commission's report in 2004. It would cause over $700 billion in damage just from the EMP alone. This is not even a rocket hitting the ground. All I can do at this point is hopefully get you prepared. Because when we realize that most of what is destroyed is the people's dreams for the future. And this is why when the Russian economy collapsed, the poor folk were the ones that pretty much stayed strong. Because things didn't change too much for them. And I guess I can put myself in that category.